Hey everyone, wanted to take a minute to explain what you need to do to complete the week 1 discussion. All right, so it's a fairly simple discussion this week. It's all about introducing yourself. All right, so one of the biggest disadvantages to being an online class is I don't really get to know you guys that well. So I always like to get a little sense of who each of you are here in week 1. And so that's kind of what I use this discussion for. So there are 2 questions that you are going to answer for the week 1 discussion, and I'd like you to answer them both in the same prompt, right? You don't need to answer question 1 and post and then go back and start a new thread and answer question 2 and post. No, answer them both in the same post, right? Question 1, very easy. What are a few things you'd like us to know about you? You can tell us where you're from, what your family and home life are like, what your current job is, etc. Just what information do you want to share with us? Again, some of you may already know each other, but not everybody. And I certainly, don't know any of you yet. So I'd love to hear a little bit about each of you. You don't have to give us your whole life story. Just your standard introduction. And then question 2 is, if you could host a talk show, who would your first 3 guests be and why? So for question 2, I'm looking for you to explain those answers, not just, if I could host a talk show, my first 3 guests would be, blank, blank, and blank because they're funny. No. Explain why you're choosing each one of them. More than just they're funny. Now, your answers, though, could be anybody. They could be celebrities. They could be everyday people. They could be friends and family. It could be real people or fictional people. It could be living people or people who have already passed. Because this isn't a real talk show. There are no real rules. This isn't does not have to be realistic. This is really just a chance for us to understand you a little more based on who you would choose as your first 3 guests, because I think it says a little bit about each of us. If you're picking 3 comedians, that tells me something about you. If you're picking 3 family members, that tells me something about you. And that's not to say that, oh, you chose 3 family members, that means family is super important to you. But this person who chose 3 comedians, clearly family is not important to them. That's not what I mean. It's not like there's no judgment involved. It's just, who we pick says something about us. And it could also say something about how you're feeling in that moment, right? How I answer this question today might not be the same as how I would answer it a month from now. So it's, there's no, it doesn't have to be realistic, but think about right now how you're feeling. Who would your first 3 talk show guests be? With no limitations, who would they be? Choose those people, tell us who they are, and explain why you are choosing each one of them. All right, have fun with it. First post needs to be up by Thursday night so that everyone has plenty of time and options to choose from, so that they can respond to 2 classmates by Sunday night. The discussion is due Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. It will remain open for 1 additional week during week 2. But remember, if you're posting during week 2, it will only be for 50% credit. Once week 2 ends, this discussion will be closed and you will no longer have access to it. Okay? So really do your best to make sure that you have completed the whole thing by Sunday night so you don't lose out on all those points, right? If you have questions or run into any technical difficulties, definitely reach out. Otherwise, I really look forward to learning a little bit more about all of you.